This is Cold Blood, a Carly Phoenix mystery, Book 2, written by Taylor Stark, read by Vivienne. Prologue. March 7, 1995. Emily Watson brushed a strand of hair from her forehead, the scent of aged paper and leather bindings enveloping her as she maneuvered through the narrow aisles of her used bookstore. A customer had called minutes before to ask about a book of old poetry and whether Emily had it. She wasn't certain it was in stock, but the customer said they would call back in half an hour once she'd had a look. Books towered around her, their spines cracked with wisdom, whispering tales of bygone eras. Most of the store was well organized, but sometimes it was difficult to find where everything was. Bookshelves were 2 or 3 rows deep. That was the way Emily liked it. She saw her bookstore as an old-fashioned adventure to be explored. She wanted customers to have that same experience of finding a sudden treasure on its shelves. The store was her sanctuary, a place where the world's clamor dimmed to a hush, where stories waited patiently for new readers to breathe life into them once again. She paused by a shelf, her fingers tracing the embossed titles, until they halted at an anthology of poetry, its cover worn from years of thumbing. Emily smiled to herself. She did indeed have a copy. She was sure the customer would be pleased, given its rarity. Emily eased it out with reverence, feeling the weight of history in her hands. It would fetch a decent price, she mused, picturing the delight in the customer's eyes as they found this treasure. She blew off a film of dust from the cover, the particles dancing in a shaft of sunlight that pierced the quiet gloom of the store. Flipping through the yellowed pages, Emily savored the musty aroma that rose with each turn. She had always found comfort in the timeless words of poets long past, their verses a balm to the soul. But today, nestled between the lines of Keats and Shelley, something unexpected caught her eye. A loose stanza, penned by hand, not printed but written, delicate and deliberate. A sense of excitement crept over Emily at the discovery. However, in the back of her mind, something felt off about the find. The stanza seemed incongruous amidst the printed text, an interloper in a sacred space. Her eyes narrowed as she absorbed the unfamiliar lines, the rhythm unsettling in its urgency. Words, she knew, wielded power, and these whispered secrets that tickled the fringes of understanding.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?